The Honourable Trevor Mauder.
Mr Speaker, I rise to support the Leader of the House and his on this particular change to the standings or session order, which will effectively be a change to the standing orders around matters relating to the pecuniary and other interests of members. I think it's fair to say that we have over time made some progress in this area. I think there's an ongoing debate, but generally members are more and more favouring transparency to avoid doubt. And I think that the exercise that we're undertaking here will take some reasonable steps in that regard, although still not be as clear as some of us would prefer. But it's certainly steps in the right direction. I think, as well as the points that the member made, I'd like to emphasise the one around timing. One of the problems with the declarations at the moment is if people perform an activity and not paid in the same year, it could be up to 18 months after the activity is performed, well beyond a general election, well beyond the period of conflict before it becomes apparent. And I think this helps with that. I think the area where there is going to be some debate and some unhappiness with members is around the arrangements with trusts at both ends of it. It's fair to say that it's not unanimous around the question of people who are trustees of trusts in which they don't have a beneficial interest. In some cases, they would be people who are lawyers who have, as part of their previous business, become trustees. And what this will require is a decision on the part of those members of Parliament who might, for example, be trustees for family trusts for more distant parts of their family where there's no question of being beneficiaries. People will have to make a choice as to whether they're open and transparent about their role in those family trusts or those previous professional trusts, or to resign as a trustee, as a number of us have done in the past around directorships and other arrangements. And I think that's fair. The other area around trusts, I think, will be known to some on this side as the Bill English clause, and what the decision is to take a wider view of beneficial interest. So we will take into account not only those that have a fixed beneficial interest, but those who have a discretionary interest, because what we saw in the case of the English trust arrangements were changes in those arrangements which took the Minister of Finance out from being a fixed beneficiary to being a discretionary beneficiary, when in fact the actual position didn't change at all. So I think it is important, and I think as well as thanking the Privileges Committee of the previous Parliament for referring it, I think we should probably thank Mr English for the work that he's done to help us clarify our rules in that particular area. There is a clear warning to be given to members around the question of vexatious complaints. There's an expectation that members will complain, will not complain vexatiously on this question, and that is, I think, important to make sure that the system has integrity, that we don't put the registrar in a position where she gets caught up in what is essentially a political argument. I think that, it's probably inevitable if there's a real complaint that it's political, but an unnecessary political argument, or too frequently, and therefore the punishment for members who make vexatious complaints is that they are themselves treated as a contempt and therefore a breach of Parliament, and that should serve as a warning to people to take this process seriously. Mr Speaker, I do want to thank all members who served on the committee. I think it's fair to say that there was almost no politics in this, that different views came from different sides of the House, and that members added their various experiences in order to get something which is, I think, about as good as would be acceptable for the House at this time.